Hello there, kings and queens. Welcome back to another episode of Faith House Podcast, and I'm your host, Diamond Booth, and I'm excited if you can't tell. Hopefully, you guys can tell that I got a new camera, so finally got that set up. If you tuned into last week's episode, I talked a lot more about, number one, apologizing for falling off the face of the earth and just leaving you guys high and dry like boom. So sorry about that, but I'm back on my grind. If you missed out on the other updates, I suggest you go head over and watch last week's episode so you can know some of the things that have been going on. I even talk about why I'm in this new space, which is my new office, as I am now full-time staff at my current location. But never mind all that. If you want the updates, go listen to last week's episode. We are back again for another episode, and the first thing that came to my mind was just being grateful for not only having the opportunity to be able to afford to do the things I feel passionate about, but also learning and gaining wisdom along the process. So there's been so much that I've been learning, things that I thought I could never do, I'm learning that I can do. Things that I never thought I would be good at, I'm realizing I'm actually good at it. Humble flex. But one of the things that stood out to me the most this week that I wanted to bring to your front door and encourage you to think about is, what voices have you been listening to that you took and picked up as truth, right? So, as you know, if you have made it to this episode, you should know by now, I am a therapist, and particularly specializing in trauma. However, currently I've been working with a lot of young adults, and something that I've been seeing with the millennials and this like up and coming generation is a lot of anxiety about identity and purpose and dreams and goals and aspirations and trying to make sense of it all. And one of the things that always boils down to is a lot of times their voice is lost in the midst of all the other voices that spoke into their life. If you think about it, from the moment that you were born to however old you are now, so many people have either labeled you something, told you something about yourself, told you what you're good at, told you what you're not good at, or suggested what they see you being and doing as a career, or dropped their 2 cents on your identity in some shape, way, or form. Or planted seeds, whether fruitful seeds or unfruitful seeds in your life about your goals and your aspirations, whether they think it's a great idea, a brilliant idea, or a completely stupid and moronic idea. So many people have dropped their opinions in your life, right? And one of the things I was seeing as I was talking with more and more of my kiddos, I'm like, you have to know what voice is yours and separating the voices of everybody else. People can love you and be thinking that they're giving you great feedback, and in actuality, their feedback is not helpful whatsoever. Something that I've been like really doubling down on these last couple of weeks, part of why I kind of disappeared, was being very intentional about my words, being very intentional about who I have around me, being very intentional about being positive and speaking positivity. That's something I've always been like adamant about, but I've been doubling down on it. And I'm kind of like a fighter about it right now. So the moment someone's bringing me negativity, I'm ready to square up. And not literally, like, I'm not out here trying to fight people. Don't say that. But that's the type of energy I'm bringing when it comes to protecting my peace, my sanity, my goals, and my mindset. Your mindset is so precious and is so impressionable. It can be, if you allow it to be. And so we're constantly just taking in everything that people are saying, and you're not filtering it out, and you're taking everything that someone has to say about you as truth, or something that they say about your idea as truth, then you start to lose yourself. You also start to lose your identity, because at the end of the day, that goal, that aspiration, that idea, that dream, that whatever that you're pursuing or you're wanting or you're thinking of yourself was placed there by God. And yes, there are some things that we're interested in that isn't necessarily what God placed us on this earth to do, but it may not be your purpose, but it is something that you're passionate about, and you should pursue that. Recently, I was listening to this interview, and I don't remember the young woman's name, but I got it. Hold it. It's coming. Kiana. She is a fitness instructor, but she also is very involved in ministry and ministering unto others. I've had the pleasure of joining some of her prayer groups. I was a little bit quiet as a mouse because I was just filling out the space, but it is a safe space. So anyway, one of the things I remember her saying is that she wants to get to God. When she is standing before God, when all is said and done, she wants to be able to say, God, I used every single thing you gave me. And I felt that. I want to be able to stand before God and say, there is nothing that you gave me. There's nothing that you talented me to do or gifted me to do or put in my heart that I didn't try to produce fruit out of. And that goes for everybody. Not just Kiana, not just me. It goes for you as well. What is it that you're gifted at, you're passionate at, or you're interested in? Pursue it. Maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe it works out great. But you're never going to know if you don't try. What's the point of sitting around wondering about what it would be like when you can go ahead, get up and make that thing happen? And that's what I've been really just like integrating into my life lately, is just make the things happen, Diamond. Stick to, if that's something that you feel passionate about, is that something you're gifted in, do it. If this is an idea that you have, and maybe it's not even a well thought out idea, take the time to sit down, even if it's 10 minutes, and think about how you can make that idea come into fruition. Whether it's something that you just want to do for fun, or it's something that you want to do to make money or have as another side of income. I've told you guys before, and back when I was doing the car videos, there are so many different things that I pursued. When I was younger, I was absolutely in love with designing and making jewelry and drawing jewelry and fashion and all sorts of things. I always loved drawing. And I had started a jewelry business when I was in middle school. Now, at that time, it flunked because I didn't have the business acumen in order to really make it thrive and flourish. And I also was not the best at setting boundaries. So every friend that came to me said, oh, I should get this for the free. I'd be like, oh, okay, it cost me like $40 to make it, but sure, you can have it for free because you're a friend. No. That's not how you run a business, baby. And if they're really your friend, they will put up the money. They will support. They will, not only will they support and buy it, they will also go that extra yard and advocate for you, support you. You need the friends around you that say, you're not charging enough for that. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you could absolutely make more for that. And thankfully, I do have friends in my circle who do hold me accountable in that way, and they do remind me of my worth, and they do build me up in that way. But I recognize not everybody has that. So what do you do when you don't have that? And you have all these voices, all these seeds that people planted in your mind over what they think you should do, what they think you couldn't do, what they think that you're great at, what they think that you're not great at. Take a moment. Get yourself in some silence. Silence is such a gift. So much breakthrough happens through silence. Some of the most aha moments for my clients happen when we're sitting in silence and we're holding the tension of the pain they feel and the mixed emotions they feel, the grief that they feel in addition to the relief that they feel. That's that moment of silence, of just processing, reflecting, parsing apart your thoughts and the voices. those moments can be so valuable. And oftentimes those are the moments when they experience the most breakthrough, the most revelation, where things are more clear for them. So my advice to you would be to find some time every day. If not every day, maybe silence is hard for you and uncomfortable for you. You're only going to get more comfortable with it the more you expose yourself to it. So my suggestion to you would be starting off small. It's okay to start off with maybe 15 minutes here or 10 minutes there, and maybe you start off with every other day instead of every single day. Whatever you need to do to make it happen, but start somewhere. Give yourself those moments to kind of just listen to yourself, listen to how you think. And when you're kind of just sitting there in silence and paying attention to your thoughts and paying attention to what's coming up, ask yourself, is this how I want to think? Is this what I actually want to believe about myself and my idea? Because I don't care who you are, whatever idea or dream or goal you have in mind, if you are already doubting it before you start it, then you're not going to succeed in it. You have to have that belief in yourself, because you're not going to give it your all if you don't. So give yourself some time for some silence. Give yourself some time for privacy and being able to just breathe and not constantly taking in all this other external mess. Because honestly, half the time, the things that we're listening to and the people that we're listening to are just bringing us some mess or some gossip. So double down on being intentional about what you allow yourself to listen to, who you allow to speak into your life, regardless of who they are. I feel the need to say that. Sometimes we feel as though just because of who someone is, what they say is truth. That is not true, my friend. No. No, it's not. Just because someone is, I don't care if it's your mammy, your daddy, your pappy, whomever, that does not automatically mean that what they're saying is true about you. Just because they fed you, clothed you, raised you, think that they know you better than anyone else, I don't care if it's your husband, spouse, whomever, they do not know you to an extent where they can tell you what you can and cannot do. And someone who is healthy in your life is not going to tell you what you are and aren't capable of. They're going to build you up. And if you are taking on a goal or a dream that is big, because we should be dreaming big, then that person will come alongside you and say, how can I help you? How can I, invest into this? I know you're going to need finances for this. How can I support you in this way? Maybe I don't have the money, but I can give you my time, or I can give you my, I can be someone that you run ideas on or feedback for. I can be your sounding board. I can help you with the media part, or I can make sure you eat every day and bring you lunch when you're spending hours working on these projects. In any shape, way, or form, that is what a healthy person is to do. And if you're not seeing that, then maybe that isn't somebody that you should be allowing to speak into your life and tell you what you are and aren't capable of and what you should and shouldn't be doing. There are plenty of times when the dreams and goals that I had for myself did not align with the dreams and goals that my parents had for me. If it was up to my mom, I'd be a phlebotomist right now. I hate blood. That was never going to work. It was never going to work. And I'm horrified of needles. Never going to work. But I stuck with what my godmother and what I felt as though was kind of just this unquenched thirst in myself of, I know I want to help people. I know, and the sentence that I remember coming up a lot when I was younger was, I want to help people not want to kill themselves. Because I knew what it was like to struggle with suicidality. I knew what it was like to struggle also on a spiritual level. So I knew that from a very young age, I wanted to help people get regain control over their life. I wanted to help people get a second chance at life. That's where For the Kingdom came from, is because I've had this burning desire to help people, but not just in the sense of just therapy. I knew I also wanted to help them get back on their feet and regain financial independence, and being able to live on their own and be able to be independent and give them a second chance at life. Basically, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I knew that, yeah, I'm good at therapy, and do I want to only do therapy? No. There was more that I wanted to do. I wanted to write books. I love writing. And I remember when I was in community college, and I remember I was in a random literature class, a random writing class. I don't even know how or why I was in that class, but I was in it. And I remember the instructor coming to me and pulling me aside one day, and he said, "You know, you're really good at this. Like, you should pursue this." And when I heard him, I was kind of just, my immediate thought that came to my mind is, I can't make money doing this. I can't make a living doing this. This is just something I can just do on the side or for fun. But this isn't serious. I didn't even take myself seriously. To be quite honest, that is something that I've struggled with as I've been writing this book that you guys have been hearing about for almost 2 years at this point. But I haven't stopped writing it. And continue to work on it. And I feel like that kind of that seed that was planted in my life of being an author isn't something that's realistic for me. It was something that I had to acknowledge as, that's not truth. That was something I was told, but it's not truth. And yes, you can absolutely make a career out of that, and yes, you can absolutely be profitable and grow, and not only grow but be successful in that, right? And so I say all that to say, it's really important to separate what you're hearing from what is your truth, and also recognizing what is it that God has placed in you, right? What is it that God has, nestled into your heart, that you wake up every day thinking about or fantasizing, like, I wonder what it would be like if I did this, or I had this business idea a couple years ago of doing this, or I really feel this way about myself and I want to do, this with this revelation or this experience or whatever it may be, this gift, this talent. Do it. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out. Best case scenario, it flourishes into something better than you ever imagined. You can choose which one is going to be harder for you to sit with. Living the rest of your life wondering what if, or knowing that, nah, I tried it and I gave it my best shot and I enjoyed it and I learned from it, because every experience, everything that we pursue, we can learn from. As I was saying with the story with the jewelry, I learned a lot about business and growing as a businesswoman from that experience. I learned a lot about myself. I learned what are my weaknesses and what I need to kind of work on a little bit. I learned how to become a bit more assertive in my communication and setting my limits and knowing the value that I bring to something, and the value of what I'm producing or providing. You have to know that about yourself, and that's not going to come from just allowing other people to tell you, because not everyone that is talking to you is telling you the right thing or the healthy thing. Even me, I would encourage you, take time to actually reflect what you're hearing and what you're being told, and whether or not that's something that you can grow from and it's fruitful, or if it's something that, you know what, maybe that's not for me. Whatever it is. I know that I got a lot of feedback on the episode that I did with my friend Shatima, and some people had different opinions and different perspectives over what a healthy friendship looks like. Do you, boo? That is absolutely fine. Find what works for you. Find what's healthy for you. We just provided our perspective and our lived experiences, right? And even from that, I encourage you, learn something. Take it, leave it, whatever you need to do. But you take advantage of allowing every opportunity to be an opportunity for you to be better, to do better, to be able to grow in some shape, way, or form, right? I remember a couple episodes ago, I did an episode on does God care about your feelings? And some people did not like that episode. That's okay. What I would encourage you to do is to sit with yourself on why that bothered you so much and why that question felt so infuriating. And also what within yourself maybe you want to kind of settle with or explore or better understand. Maybe something I said was triggering. A trigger reveals what you need to address in order to heal. That's all a trigger is. And so I encourage you, whatever you see, whatever you come in contact with, use it as an opportunity to learn. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. Use it as an opportunity to learn. You turn it into something fruitful. I firmly, holistically believe that when the Bible says He's turning all things for good, or no, I try to be specific. It doesn't say turning all things for good. He works, all things work together for our good. And a reason why I specify not saying turning, because turning implies God's changing it. He already knew what He was doing when He allowed it to happen, or when He brought something into your life. And so really sitting back and thinking about, okay, yes, this breakup may be, for example, this breakup may be painful. However, what is it that's teaching me about myself? What is it teaching me about how I need to develop and grow into the woman or the man that I want to be for my future spouse? Maybe this job didn't work out. Maybe this business idea fell to pieces. Where can I examine an opportunity to grow and learn from that experience? Some of my most painful experiences in life are also what produce the most fruitful things and my testimonies when I share them with clients, and I see them feel validated or reassured, or when I see them be inspired, and I see that light bulb click for them, and I remember, oh, that is what this is for. I can take this and use it for this. I can take this pain and use it for this. Because I don't know about you, but I refuse to let the devil get any type of glory or any type of attention. So I'm going to take whatever happens. I'm going to take whatever I experience, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to use it and plant a seed in somebody else's life that's going to set them free and deliver them from whatever they're facing. So sometimes you got to be real serious about protecting your mind, examining your thoughts, and kind of checking what you're listening to. And when I say what you're listening to, I'm talking about who you're allowing to speak into your life. Protecting this, protecting your center, protecting your mind, protecting your soul, your spirit, and your dreams and your aspirations. And don't give up on them. Double down on them. And if it didn't work out the first time, that doesn't mean you don't try for it again. Where do you do that at? Try it again, boo. Keep doing it until it comes to fruition. Alright, so that's what I'm leaving you guys with on this Thursday. And if nothing else, I just want whomever is listening to really sit with the thought of, you have so much value, you have so much worth, you are gifted, you are talented, you are needed, you are essential, you have purpose, you have a calling. Don't give up on it, step into it, double down on it. You may not see how you're going to do it right now, but don't give up on it. Just start making steps towards it. Even if it's just writing it down every single day, writing down what you want to do. Keep writing it until it comes to you what next step you need to take. And then get around people who can actually help you with that. Alright? Not just hanging out with the same old people who keep saying how hard that dream is, or how difficult it's going to be to accomplish that, or you're not this enough, or you're not that enough to do that. Get away from them. Get away from them. Matter of fact, you help them a lot more when you separate yourself, because you're showing them, oh, okay, when you separate and you get about your business, you can elevate so much more. You can be so much more joyful, so much more at peace, and so much happier when you separate and you double down on positivity. You double down on being around people who are being fruitful and advantageous and pouring into your life as much as you reciprocate that as well. So nonetheless, I just wanted to leave you guys with that. And if nothing else, remember, faith helps. All right, okay, have a great day. Bye.